Hey friends, we have not officially started yet. I'm actually going to move this one over just a tiny bit just because that way you can see me too.
Okay, and where do I just click that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. We are live. We're officially live. Watch video. And then you're going to share this part. There you go.
Okay.
Cool. We are just sharing the live right now, and then we'll get started. Like always, if you're here every week, you know the drill. If you're on TikTok, thanks for joining us. We're going to have some really good discussions about organizing today. We'll get started here shortly. We start at 3 o'clock on the dot, so good to see everybody. All right. I have to share this live.
We fought over the good side and Miranda won.
I did.
Just so you know.
I get the big captain's chair always.
She had to be a princess today.
I am a princess.
Good thing it's Halloween tomorrow. Is this what you're going to be for Halloween too?
No, I'm going to be Gwen Stacy from
Oh.
Spider-Man. Well, you said that you were going to wear your thing, so I was...
You're never going to let me live that down.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Nope,
I made her dress up alone.
That's okay. It's all right.
Oops.
I only blame you slightly. Just
You'll just bring it up in every combo.
absolutely. It is Halloween, guys, so we are going to have fun this episode.
Yes.
Not just talk about random crap. Okay. I think I shared the live as well. I'm going to share it to my story as well. Cool. All right. That's done. It's 3 o'clock. Let's get started. As always, it is great to be here. My teacher used to say that all the time. Hi, Via. Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. I'm going to sit uncomfortably, and I'm wearing a dress, so don't judge me. But my name is Maranda Taylor. I work for Kelly Realty. I am a real estate agent, a mother, and obviously a badass entrepreneur.
Woohoo!
Who loves to empower people to do amazing things. I started this live show as a way to give back to my community and talk to different small business owners to get their viewpoints on lots of things that I care about, because it's not just about real estate all the time. You know, mental health is important, which we're going to talk a lot about that today, and just getting out in your community and being active and supporting your local business owners. So, without further ado, since you guys know who I am already, I'm going to introduce the lovely Bee. Bee owns an amazing business, and she's an incredible human. I met her through one of my groups, and I am so thankful for her.
Well, I'm thankful for you too.
And what I will say about that is she legitimately changed my life. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But what she does is just amazing. And she is a miracle worker. I'm not joking when I say that. So I will let Bee introduce herself and tell you guys a little bit about what she does. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure most of you guys know that I declutter and organize homes. I started Morning Project a year ago, literally like, I don't know.
Yes,
I think
was
it's
it yesterday?
Yesterday or today or something like that.
We're celebrating.
1 year. Yeah, I'm so excited. But no, I truly love what I do. I never thought that I would be so passionate about like a career. That I literally thank God every single day, because who doesn't want to love what they do every day? So, yeah, I started Morning Project, spring cleaning, fall cleaning, all of that is like my favorite time of the year to clean homes to clean my house. And I just have like a real passion for it, and it's like a good feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Like your home should be like your sanctuary, and where you come and you get off from a long busy day and you just want to feel good in your space. So anyways, I thought, what if I could help other people feel the same way I do in their home? And who knew it was a freaking job?
Who knew it was a freaking job?
Because, people need it. And I help people, like I help Miranda every single day. And when I hear the word life-changing, I mean, it's a feeling, so.
Well, and what I will say is I will start this conversation off emotional, because why not, guys? For those
Here
of
we
you,
go.
for those of
Bring
you,
the waterworks.
for those of you who know me, you know I'm an extremely intense person. But I will tell you the
But
story.
like the best though. You're so bubbly. Like your personality. Oh my gosh.
Well, don't give me too many compliments. My head will start to grow, and
That's
I'm not
true.
the right color.
That's true.
I'm not the Queen of Hearts today. I'm an Emerald Queen. So, so earlier this year, I started going through a separation and a divorce, and my house, what's supposed to be your sanctuary, felt like it was completely torn apart. Right.
Well, you got 2 kids.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
But it was like
Give yourself some grace here.
But it was like a tornado. And I felt like I couldn't handle everything going on around me, especially my home. And your home is supposed to be the place that you go and you're like, oh, I'm happy to be here. I know we talked last week about how it's supposed to be like your serotonin and supposed to balance all that. And I just felt like overwhelmed in that, like, I couldn't handle, taking care of my kitchen, my living room, my bathroom. Like, I'm counting all these rooms in my house. When I was so happy to have all that square footage, I wasn't happy with how I arranged my house. And for those of you who don't know me, I am the most not organized person in the whole wide world. And it's okay. I know this about myself. I know this about myself. Mm-hmm. But having to take care of 2 kids and the house and everything and my job, I had pets at the time, like everything was on top of me. And somebody kindly, graciously, thank you, Camille, paid me to come. And dude, when I say that she changed my life, she did. Because my kitchen was in such disarray, I felt like I couldn't even cook because I didn't know where anything was. I felt like I couldn't really do anything because nothing was in its place and everything was disorganized. If I could have had her do my whole house, I would have. But she deserves to be paid. She deserves to be paid. And at that time, it was not an option for me. And she literally changed my life, because the second that she organized my kitchen and put processes in place and showed me, hey, like, this is how you do this, it was a moment. It was just like this huge release off my shoulders. It's like that's one less book on top of my back. That's one less thing that I have to carry with me. And that is what she did for me. So she didn't just come in and organize my house and make it look Instagram pretty, because my house is not Instagram pretty. I'm just going to be honest, it's a fixer-upper. But she came in and she legitimately, like, put a process in place that I could handle. And I got some of my power back. I got some of my management back. And I felt like I couldn't manage that. So that is what you did for me. And I haven't bawled. I have makeup on, but I really want to right now.
Don't do it. I'm not too pretty, Miranda. Don't do it.
But that is what she did for me. And one of the reasons I support you so much is because I think what you do is incredible. And for people like me who just don't have the skill set to understand what a process is or how to organize something.
Okay, you're going to make me freaking cry now.
It's incredible.
Ugh.
Like, it's not just about making, like, that Instagram pretty pantry. It is legitimately a mental health thing. Like, it legitimately changed my life. And thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was, like, too, where we first, like, I remember walking in the door and you just being like, Hot Mess Express. And, like, I didn't know you, but I was like, hug. Remember? Like, the first thing I did was, like, just want to hug you, you know? And I feel like, too, I mean, I stayed, I think, even after I organized your house, I stayed for, like, an hour afterwards and we talked on your back porch, you know? So I feel like that was, like, the first time, though, we really got to know each other. And when I say, like, what a personality, I mean that, okay? This woman, like, literally her personality, like, blew me out of the water. I was like, okay, you confident, freaking go-getting badass. Like, what the hell, you know? I'm like, I need that, you know? And I remember just like thinking too, like, okay, I want to be this chick's friend. Like, let's be friends. And then here we are at the bar. And then
it was a good time.
And then we had a great time. And then we did a couple networking things like with Christina and stuff. And
it's good. And
I love it. Yeah.
And it's all about, like, in general, when you're a small business owner, it is really about networking and finding those people that you can click with, like, every opportunity. And, you know, being a small business, it's wouldn't you agree, it's a lot more difficult than, like, having a whole entire, like, team behind you to support you. Like, I don't even think there is, like, a corporation that does what you do. But do you have competition that are like corporations or no?
I mean, I think so. And I think there's like even a franchise right now.
Okay. It's okay if you can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. But, so, I mean, a franchise is a corporation, right?
Kind of. They're still small business owners, but setting yourself apart is very hard. And one of those things that, you know, I try to do that sets me apart, and you're the same way, is like your heart. Like, legitimately, like, we have to sell that to people, because if you're not in it for the right reasons, people feel that. And like we both do what we do because we absolutely love the people that we service, and the stories that we have are incredible.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I mean, I love to build relationships with my clients, like, so much. Like, and it's almost like I want to be all of my clients' friends, like, by the end of it, because I just like fall in love with these people. It's like weird. I don't know. So if you're a client of mine and you're watching, I love you. And be my friend.
You said you wanted to tell me about your first ever like moment, like when you were like, okay, I'm going to make a business out of this, and this is why. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay. So like initially starting MP, I posted a business page, and I was like, you know, I'm going to start this organization business. So like, you know, to build my portfolio, I'll be doing like free service, right? As long as like they paid for like the supplies being used. Anyway, so I came across this lady, and it was a garage. And anyway, she had lost her husband. They were in the process of building. And so lost her husband, and all the stuff they had stored away, she had her family just move it right into her garage. And then after that, right, like once clutter starts building, like it's just easy to like just put on top. I'll, you know, get to that later. And anyway, once I completed her garage, and she was just like so extremely grateful. And, you know, the word life-changing, like, is just such like this incredible feeling, right? When you know that you're impacting people's lives. And I'll never forget her, because I knew in that moment, in that job, that Morning Project no longer was just a business name to me. It like meant everything to me to make this succeed, you know? It was people like her and like you that make me like, I'm like, I want to do this forever. Like, if I could live forever, I'd want to do it forever. People always say like, you should franchise out, you know, Morning Project. I really see that, you know, or isn't the goal one day to like never work? You know, you have people under you, and it's like, I mean, sure, it might be a goal one day, but I feel like I'll always get my hands dirty in it because I just love doing it so much. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of like that story that was just like, wow, like first client, first garage, boom.
Done.
Like how? You know, I was like, whoa, like I may even love Morning Project more than my kids sometimes. No, I don't know. I mean, at least it doesn't drive me bananas, but you know.
Right. Well, and you have to have some kind of love for what you do. Like if you don't love what you do, you know, think about that. Like if you went to work and hated your
I've done that for many years, many years.
And I always beg the question, like, is hating what you do for good money even worth it?
No,
like,
it's not. It's like miserable, you know? like you said, mental health is so important, and I feel like what you do in your everyday life, like, affects your mental health. So.
Well, and like anytime like you're turning a new leaf and like starting a new business, like it's hard. Like nothing is easy when it comes to this stuff. Like nothing is just, oh, I know exactly how to do this. This stuff is easy. Like,
no, it's hard. It is hard.
There's like this iceberg, right? You know, I know that that's a real big cliche. It gets thrown around on the internet all the time, but it's the truth. Like when it comes to like success or like entrepreneurship or anything of that sort, like there's this iceberg. There's the part that people see, and then there's the part that people don't. Like your hard work, your success. Like
I don't see the back end.
No. And to be able to say that you've changed people's lives, to be able to love what you do, like those things are a huge success, and you should be so proud of yourself.
Well, it still literally blows my mind. Like, it's like still to this day, like blows my mind every time. Every time like I see anybody like mentioning my business name or anything like that, I'm just like, how is this like even freaking real? Because that's how much I love it.
And it's a part of you. Like it is a part. And so when you say like you love it a little bit more than your kids, like I know you don't really mean that.
I don't.
But
I mean, maybe. I don't know. No.
But as an entrepreneur, like it's part of you. Like
it is.
I joke with people all the time that like, you know, being a business owner is part of my personality. It's just me. Yeah. Because like we don't get to turn it off too. Like there's also a dark side to that. Like we don't get to turn off who we are. We don't get to turn off the fact that we go outside and we're a public figure or we're somebody in the community. You do a shit ton in the community. Like you do so much, and I appreciate everything that you do. You give back so much. And sometimes that stuff can be taxing. Sometimes it's rewarding, but we can't shut it off. Like if I go out for coffee, you know, and somebody recognizes me and wants to give me a hug, even if I'm having the crappiest day of my life, like I still have to be present for that. And I have to say, hey, yeah, come give me a hug, or like talk about those things, which I love doing. And when that happens, like if I am having a bad day, I'm no longer having a bad day. I don't wear makeup very often, so sorry guys, there's something in my eye.
Is that? Do you want me to blow it out?
No, it's fine. Well, that was, anyway, I'm sure somebody will pay to see that. But, but the truth of the matter is like, we as entrepreneurs work so hard. And the point that I was getting at is there's a lot of stuff that people don't see. And, you know, sometimes people don't want you to be successful, or they don't want you to have that success. And they don't see that struggle. And we don't talk about it enough. Like,
well, you can't really. I mean, who are you to like really like vent to about that? You know, like, I mean, I don't really know many people who would even probably understand, but since I've now like networked and like a lot of incredible women that like I've joined forces with and stuff like that, like obviously like them, you know, I guess I do have that outlet, but you know, being a one woman shop, like I think I'm the only organizing business that that doesn't have a partner. So I literally do everything on my own. And you know,
does that mean you're hiring? No, I'm just kidding.
So I was like literally just talking about that this morning too, is I have this really hard time like trusting anybody with morning project, because I don't want to hire someone just to give them a job. Like I need someone who, I guess, who's like just more like passionate too. They gotta love it, right? Because it's morning project's name on the line too, you know, my name essentially, but
they have to have that heart. And you know,
I want them to love it like I do.
I have a beautiful PR team. It's two lovely ladies that I actually met with this morning, and they both do incredible things for me, and I appreciate them so much. But like when I hired them, I didn't hire them because they were the most qualified. I didn't hire them because they had like all their shit together. I didn't hire them for any of those reasons. I hired them because they had the heart, and they like wanted something to be a part of something bigger than just something small.
Yeah.
Like they saw the vision that you have. And hiring people like that is really difficult. It is not an easy task whatsoever to hire people. And I'm grateful so grateful for
Yeah.
those two women. Like, if I didn't have that meeting today, one of them just gave a bunch of hearts. If I didn't have that meeting today, I think I would have lost my shit. Like,
Yeah.
I struggle just like any entrepreneur with like that imposter syndrome, all those things.
Oh, I totally have imposter syndrome. I am the perfectionist. Like,
Right.
literally. And when I tell you I went down the rabbit hole too about it, like, because I'm like, wait, this is me? This is me? Okay, keep reading. This is me. I'm like, okay, I have this issue.
And like
Ugh.
having that kind of support system and that kind of team is so important.
I
And
mean, I would love to grow Morning Project out, at some point. I just,
That
just gotta
trust thing,
find that person.
it is so hard. And, again, being an entrepreneur too, like, people see that top of that glacier. They don't see the bottom. So sometimes people don't want to accept the ugly with the pretty. They just want the pretty. And, when you join a big corporation too, it's like that too. Like, you get this big persona of like this something beautiful, and then that's why you join. And then when you start to join, that's when you start to see like the ugly things fall apart. That's why I left my corporate job. It wasn't all the glam and glitz that it really was. Like, when it got to the heart of it, it wasn't as good as I thought it was, even at the top of the pyramid.
Any corporate job.
True. But that's why we shop small. Shop small, guys. Support small. But even on top of that, like, days like this, like Halloween, right? Halloween's right around the corner. Woo-hoo. It's a holiday. Yeah, that's why we're all dressed up in this getup. And it's like super fun and everything. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, Halloween, what are we going to do for Halloween? What specials or how are we going to celebrate this? What's this going to look like? Like, we don't just get to be like, oh, we're going to dress up for Halloween and we're going to have fun. Like, I guess we could do that. There's no rules.
I'm doing it.
I guess there's no rules.
I'm doing it.
Rules that you can't. But you always have
The thing is, you always are constantly thinking about your business and like what's your next move and what you're going to do and blah, blah, blah. But I'm taking my holiday.
You're taking your... I'm
a mom too, so I have to finding that balance for sure. But the balance is tough.
This year, I'm going to dress my son up as a shark because I have a shark costume. My kids are 2 under 2. They're not going to remember this. I'm just going to remember.
Well, I want to remember.
And then my daughter's going to be Minnie Mouse because we have Minnie Mouse
Cute.
ears. And then I'm going to be Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man because why not? I've like been her for like
Miranda, we know that like everything is green, okay? Like, you can't see this, but like her office is all green, okay? Her couch is green. Her chair's green. When she got this couch and she sent it to me, and I was like, okay, so her glasses, she's not wearing them right now.
No, I'm wearing green glasses.
Are they green?
They're green.
They are too. But like her glasses are always like so funky and cool, but like green. You can't make this up.
Okay, well, let me tell you a story about the green, guys. Okay, because
I don't think I've heard.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, I got advice that when you get into the business that I'm in, everybody and their mother needs to know you.
Okay.
Okay. Simultaneously, I learned about a capsule wardrobe.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. And then also, I've had some interesting relationships, and I was in one that would not let me wear green, ever.
What?
I was a redhead. So
but I think it looks great with your
that's
red
why
hair.
it was about control.
Oh, he didn't want you to look great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So,
weirdo.
when I was brainstorming, which for all of you guys to know, I have a disability and it's called autism, and makes my brain, it's my superpower, it makes my brain do incredible things. And when I was brainstorming, okay, what is going to set me apart? How can I market myself, make myself happy, and it be authentically me? And I'm like, okay, things that you could do.
That's fun though too.
And I'm like, you know what? I freaking love green, except I used the F word. I did that on the live the other day and I got scolded. So
you did?
Not by Facebook or anything, but by my mother. So, but anyway, that's a joke. But I decided that I was going to do that. So a capsule wardrobe basically is like you're just taking like statement pieces and making your wardrobe smaller so you have like fewer stuff, but you can like mix and match like everything together.
Okay.
So I still have a crap ton of clothes.
Interesting.
I did not stick to that capsule wardrobe. I really wish I could, but I can't. So
Telling you, she's got spunk, y'all.
but I decided to pick the color green. Green brings me so much joy.
Well, green looks great on you. No, seriously, like when I saw you and like just like knowing like your whole vibe was green, I'm like, this girl's got it going on. Like, that's amazing. Like, I love that for you.
Well, and then the mom and pop brokerage that I work for, because I work for Kelly Realty, you know, they're green. So,
are they? Okay.
yes.
Oh, yeah. They got the shamrock.
Yeah, shamrock.
Yeah, okay.
I have like some Scottish heritage in me, not Irish, but if everybody wants to call me the Irish beauty, that's fine. And women with voices, they call me that all the time. But I, you know, that is kind of how I built that. And I'm like, I now introduce myself, hi, I'm Maranda Taylor. And then they're like, oh, you look so good in green. Yeah, I only wear green. And then everybody knows that Maranda Taylor wears green. And,
big facts.
And it has made me notable. It makes me easily picked out in a room. It makes it so people feel comfortable coming up to me. It's a conversational piece. And you know me, I love talking to everybody. And I
know.
I love inviting everybody in to have, you know, I'm this intense with everyone. To have
She really is. She really is.
To have those like intimate conversations
Sure.
and know that I'm a safe place for that, and know that even if they don't know anybody in a room, that they can come up to me and I'm their friend.
Yeah.
I joke with people that, you know, like I'm like a warm hug, you know, every time you meet me, because I want to be that for somebody. A little bit more about my story. I went on a journey like 2 years ago because I thought there was something wrong with me. Really, there wasn't, you know, just, you know, therapy, 10 out of 10, recommend. I could be the spokesperson for that. But there really wasn't anything wrong with me. I was just so isolated, and I didn't have a support system. And when I started my journey with real estate and started my journey with like owning my own business, I wanted to be that support for people. Like, I started the craft business where I made like memorabilia items from people who passed away, and you know, like I did that for free, and then like doing the fundraisers and things like that, and having that business that was not for profit, and then, you know, moving into real estate, moving into like the business consulting that I do. You know, I genuinely want to help people. Like that is just my goal. I want to always be a resource or a support for someone.
Sure, yeah.
It brings me joy, and I never want anybody to feel like they have no one.
Yeah.
Because having no one sucks.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 years ago, like, I had no one. I had no support system. I had no friends. And like, when you look at me now, you know, I'm gonna get teary. Goddamn.
I know. Like, we told everybody this is gonna be funny.
I know, right? But yeah, I can make some dark humor jokes here shortly. But literally, being isolated really sucked. And I'm very happy how far I've come, and that I put myself out there. You know, my best advice to everyone, whether you're a business owner, stay-at-home mom, a dude that needs friends, y'all need to start talking to each other, okay? It's okay to, you know, emotionally talk to other dudes, okay?
No, they tough. Too strong.
But all of that is so important. That support system is so important. And when I look where I'm at, all I did was just put myself out there. I went to a Christmas party, and I talked to a beautiful woman. Her name is Rosa. She's probably watching this. And that was the moment that, like, said, hey, support is cool. I just openly talk about my trauma. And
which I think is great.
Yeah.
And I think if more people did, like, there would be more healing in this world, and more like, just like more gratitude. Like, people would have so much more, I feel like, compassion. Like, there would be more compassion. That's what I'm looking for. Because trauma is very real. Mental health is very real.
Well, and I would like to meet somebody who has absolutely done. Like, I really want to meet
where
you.
are you? Where are you, Miss Perfect, Mr. Perfect?
But with that being said, like, you know, I openly talked about my trauma that night, about what was going on, you know, about my my person, like who I was, like who I actually was as a human, what built me. And she's like, I've never met anybody that has just openly talked so honest and candidly about that. And I'm like, you know what? This is what's needed. Like, more people just need to be freaking open and candid about everything.
Yeah.
If we were all honest, this world would be a lot better. You know, deceitfulness and things like that. Like, there's no need for it. So, and then that's when I started to get support. Like, that's when I started, you know, I found a friend in her, and then, you know, I joined these women empowerment groups. I joined, you know, LIT and Women with Voices. And I started, you know, having that philosophy that, like, I'm going to go out and have coffee with as many freaking strangers as possible. And we're going to get down. We're going to have great conversations. And we're going to talk about our trauma. And we're going to smile about it.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's like what I built my brand on.
Yeah.
Like, and the reason I did it is because of that moment. That moment that I helped somebody else and I gained a support system, I wanted to continue to build that for other people. And one of my greatest joys is
and you're doing a great job. You're like, what are you doing for Women with Voices now? You're like,
I just like help with the crap that nobody else wants to do. Like, if I'm just being honest, I like data.
But you have a title.
Oh, I just help with like the operations part. So like the data spreadsheets, basically anything that needs to be just
Okay.
Done.
Sure.
Or if somebody has to learn how to do something to do it, that's me.
Okay.
I make a lot of QR codes and things like that, and
I need one of those.
Just strategy, just in general. Like, I'm a very good strategist.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to just anything. And I know that sounds very broad, but my brain is very fun. I would challenge anybody that wants to try it on, if that was possible. Enjoy it. Use it. But I'm a really good strategist, and with operations and like figuring out problems and fixing them. Like, I was built to problem solve. Like, when I say that, I don't know what's going on with my eye. We're gonna just take a moment. Na 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 na. I don't have the music or a big production team, sound team, but I don't. You know, I don't have like a normal person brain. Like, it just like runs constantly. So like, I make these like lists of just, like, I call it like brain dumping of just ideas, because I have all these ideas, I have all these like strategies to try and things like that. I really should probably sell them, but executive functioning skills are not my strong suit. I'm very good at individualization, so I can just, you know, outsource that part of my brain. But that is, like, when it comes to strategy, when I look at somebody else's situation, I can usually fix it. Like, if anybody's having an issue with anything, I can usually come up with some kind of strategy, especially in the business world. A solution that's going to solve their problem. Sometimes it's kind of weird and, like, out of, like, whack. But, you know, I'm kind of like the female version of Nathan For You, with just a little bit. You don't know what that is? Okay.
No.
If anybody watches Comedy Central, Google it. You'll laugh at the joke later. I've been on this journey to help those business owners. Like, we need to sit down, because I know we've had several discussions of things that you need, and I would love to just sit down and chat about it. Marketing is one of those things. Like, I have a unique marketing perspective that not very many people utilize, and I think it's a disservice to them. So just kind of those things. And you have marketed yourself so well. I'm so proud of you.
I'm trying, girl. I'm out here, like I said, one woman shop, just trying to do all that I can. But I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm just putting one foot in front of the other.
But does anybody? Like, let's be honest. Like,
I don't know.
Like, they throw this word algorithm out there, and nobody knows what it means or how it works or how it functions or what to do. I'm lost.
I'm like, wait, so what times and what days? Like, wait, and so Sunday's the best day? No, I don't know.
So, okay, and when we were talking about, like, I'm so happy you brought this up, because when we were talking about doing this show, right? When I sat down with Heather, and I'm like, okay, when should we do this show? And she's like, oh, this time or this time? I'm like, Sundays. Well, then football happened. Well, this girl doesn't know much about football at all. Like, that's where you throw 3 throws, right?
I hate you. You said free throws.
But with that being said, then football happened, and we live in Nebraska, so Huskers. I bleed Husker red, guys. I'm like every Nebraskan. I like when we win. I don't like when we lose, but we're still loyal and supportive. All right? Okay. Cool. I'm not that bad of a human, but no, then that's during game time, and then NFL is a thing too, which go whatever team. I think the last Patriots are a team. Go Patriots.
Go Chicago Bears.
Go Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
I thought that was baseball. No, that's the Cubs.
Girl,
okay.
Oh my gosh.
I don't watch sports. I watch hockey and UFC. Let's just be honest. We can talk about those sports.
Oh, I don't watch hockey or none of that.
But, and then I like doing the fun things, playing video games online, and
that's fun to you?
That's super fun. Look at my space over there. Yeah. I'm a nerd.
I love that about you, though.
I am a nerd. I am a nerd through and through, and I will own up to it, and I will accept the fact.
You own that, girl.
I will.
Because that is you, and I love that about you.
What?
I think that's honestly too what's attracted me to you for some reason. I don't know. I just I'm look at this confident nerd over here. Never met one before.
Hey.
And you're perfect. So here we go.
Being a nerd is sexy. Okay?
Hey, I can see that. I can see that.
Not really, but it's okay.
No, it is. Especially just with your confidence level. It's insane.
Well, I'm glad you feel like I'm confident. Some days I'm not. But, I do know one thing, and it's sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm okay to admit both.
I thought you were literally going to say sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm right. I was okay, see?
No, I can admit when I'm wrong sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very rare when that happens, but it is a good time. Somebody commented, question, what is the next vision and goal you have for the morning project? What can your clients and future clients look forward to?
That's a good one, and I love that. I pretty much I envision Morning Project to obviously be successful, but also giving back. So I don't want Morning Project to be known as really this huge profitable business. Obviously I do, right? But I also want Morning Project to be known for giving back in my community. I really want that. And then really, a team behind me at some point would love that. I'm pretty much at this point too of saying yes to every opportunity that's been thrown my way. So right now, as most of you know, I'm collaborated with Nest with the Nelsons, which is a virtual interior design company. Megan's amazing. And
then come on here.
Huh?
She needs to come on this show.
Yeah, she would be great to have. And then I'm also partnered with Blue Moon Estate Sales. Carrie's amazing.
I love Carrie.
Yeah, and then I actually am going to be partnering with Midwest Pickers, so I'm so excited for that. And yeah, so I'm saying yes to everything and just kind of putting one foot in front of the other and seeing what comes back with me.
And you have to do that. When you're first starting out, you have to do that. And then if something doesn't work out, then hey, I need to change direction.
Yeah.
To move forward.
Yeah. And something for my clients, what they can look forward to in the future is really virtual guides. I want to not only come into somebody's space and help them create a beautiful functional system, but I would love to be able to do that virtually to offer a budget price, and really just teach my clients how to keep that system in their home, because it can be easy to go back to the way it was, or not create those habits and stuff like that. So that's kind of something that I'm in the works with right now too.
And I know we were talking, and maybe I'm off base here, but we were talking also about like maybe you potentially having like your own set of organizers and things like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into that too. And that's really just because what I do now is I price compare between multiple stores, but I'm coming with a few like issues with that. So it would be nice to offer my clients supplies cheaper than what you find at like the Container Store, you know? And wouldn't it be cute to have little morning project logos on the bottom? I promise it'll be clear, okay, and on the bottom, you know? But like, how stinking cool for me would that be?
Well, and it's free advertising. And
then it's also like, you know, if a client needs to remember like who did the job or, you know, anything like that, like, hello, go look at your hanger.
it's a constant reminder. Well, and then your logo is so freaking cute. So
You think so?
the M and the P. It's so simple. It's simplistic. It's beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
It is very, very good. Like,
Thank
I
you.
don't think people would hate having that like embossed or embossed. I don't know however you say that word.
Yeah.
On stuff engraved on it. I don't think people would hate it.
It'd be very little and
Yeah.
light. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm not trying to make it like heavy,
Yeah.
you know, but
But it's just like how many people wear Nike, how many people, you know, wear Reebok, how many people like wear that logo with pride. Like, it's the same thing with our houseware.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say about that too is like when you go in and you do that organizing, people usually need the same stuff, right? Like it's pretty consistent. So that's pretty chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fantastic idea. And then just
Yeah.
figuring it out. That's always the hardest part is like, here's my idea. How do we execute this?
Yeah, and so like my brain, kind of like yours, you know, just goes a million miles per hour. Like, I mean, I'll be up all stinking night because I'm just like, what do I do next? What can I do next? Like, okay, and like I'm envisioning this, but like, how do I do this? You know? But I have a lot in the works, you guys. So I'm excited, and I can't see who made that comment.
Camille.
Oh, hi, Camille. I love Camille.
I love her too.
I'd
I'd marry
but
her
I
if she
would
let me.
love to, you know, even get feedback on like what like you would like to see, you know, like yeah.
should do-
So tell me that, Camille. DM me.
Yes. You should also do like an engagement post on your profile, just like asking, what do you want to see? You know,
Yeah.
or like have a poll. Like if you want it to go like a certain way, that would be a good way to bring engagement to your page. But not only that, it would also get you those answers that you need, and just getting yourself out there. I know you're very, very good at what you do. And
Thank
I would
you.
say, I know a couple other organizers on our community, and not only what you did for me, but like, I don't think they don't showcase how much heart there is in it, if that makes sense. compared
Yeah,
to
I
you.
mean, I really truly pour my heart and soul into every single job that I do. And I try to like make myself just a little bit different by like designing. Like I don't just go and like separate alike items and put it on the shelf, you know? Like I'm really trying to like so naughty.
I know. I think it stopped the live. Hopefully you guys can still hear us. Just keep talking. It'll be okay.
But no, so I'm really trying to create like, you know, these functional systems in these homes and making them just beautiful. Did it stop it?
No, you can just keep talking. Just keep talking. We're still live on TikTok. If it did, it'll be okay. I'll make sure the technology is
No, we're good. Yeah.
doing its thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
And then
designing.
designing.
I love it because like I never try to make like two pantries the same. I always like to switch it up. I'm always like, come on, Container Store, can you come out with a new bin? Like, oh my gosh, and like this is so stinking cool. So like Midwest Pickers, you know, was like talking to me today about how they have antique bins.
Keep talking. It'll be okay.
And like, what if I did a pantry like an all like antique,
Bin.
like like canisters and bins. Like, how stinking cool would that be? I'm like, who would let me do that? Like, so I just feel like I try to separate myself that way.
So, if anybody wants to have a pantry done with antique bins and it look really cool, rustic, awesome,
Yes.
reach out to her. On TikTok, I have her tagged below, and then on Facebook Live, like she's tagged a million times. If you are on TikTok and you do want to move over to Facebook Live, that's where we're getting all these questions. We can't really see the TikTok screen from here. It is too far away. But if you are interested in that, really check out her stuff. Like, I wasn't just saying, like, you know, she does do the, like, life-changing stuff where it's just normal people every day. But if you want something that's super high-end, like, oh my gosh, some of the pantries that she has done are so gorgeous.
Thank you.
They're so gorgeous. And
sometimes I feel like pictures don't even do justice either.
No, like, you have to, like, probably physically go there. But I can envision it because, you know, I look at real estate pictures all day. So I know what's reality and what's not. But I'm telling you, some of the work you do is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like, you are, when it comes to that high-end, like, I love that you are so diverse. And when it comes to that high-end stuff, like, you are the best in Omaha. Like, there is nobody else that can do high-end like you. We have another question. It says, what kind of spaces do you organize, and which one is your favorite?
So I organize all spaces. So as large as, you know, garage, storage room, basement, to even like your smallest spaces. So like, I'll organize your junk drawer. That's how far I like to go. I will organize it all, and I will label it and everything else. And I don't know what's my favorite. I've been asking myself that question for so long because I feel like every space I have a favorite part about it. Like,
it's like kids. Like, you can't pick a favorite.
Well, you can. No, I'm kidding. Some days I like my daughter more. Some days I like my son more, you know. No, but I just can't pick a favorite. Like, I love pantries because I'm able to design uniquely and, like, all of that, right? But then, like, I'll do a garage and I'll be like, I do love garages. Like, these are organizing fingers. Like, don't get my nails done because they get so dirty. But I love garages too. I don't know. And then even master closets. I love master closets. Like, to see how, like, beautiful they are and, like, I don't know. So yeah, I would say every space is my favorite space. Almost. I, like, genuinely don't know. Is that weird? No. Should I have a favorite space? I don't know.
I don't know. I think you can be whoever you want to be. You know?
I like that answer. That's a good one.
Pun intended.
I like that answer.
I think it's, again, I think what you do is freaking incredible.
Thank you.
And just don't stop being yourself.
Yeah, no.
Because that literally is what sets you apart. Your passion, your heart, your commitment to every single job that comes through. Like, my house was a mess. And, like, you literally stuck through it. I'm sure it probably didn't smell very nice because I have 2 kids, and at the time I had 2 dogs and 2 cats. So I'm sure it didn't.
I don't remember a smell. Your house is fine, Miranda. I think you, like, need to seriously, like, give yourself a freaking break.
No. No.
Like, literally.
Yeah, no, that's my biggest fear, like, the way my house smells. I'm like, does it smell good? Because, like, once you get used to something, or, like, you know, I don't ever want to be that person that, like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, her house smells like rotten carrots, and then nobody tell me.
Okay, first of all, weird term. Whoever says rotten carrots, okay, do rotten carrots even smell?
I don't know.
And secondly, no, you have a beautiful home. So, no.
But
not at all.
Not at all. But that's, like, literally my biggest fear. So, like, when you came that day, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she's like in like perception, right? Now I know you're like the most down to earth person I've ever met in my life. But perception that we put out there and everything is reality to some people. So like when you came in, like, oh my God, she's gonna judge me. Like I had all those feelings, but none of it was real. Like none of those feelings that I felt were actually how you felt. Like it was all a projection of my anxiety. And
but I get that a lot though. Like a lot of people are so worried about, you know, me judging or just being embarrassed and ashamed. And it's like, you don't have to do that with me because I get it. You know what I mean? Like I might be the professional organizer, right? And I have created systems in my home. But I can tell you that time to time, my basement still becomes my catch-all. Like it's just easy to do, you know? But I can say that creating those systems, oh my gosh, I mean, it's like, oh, I want to put that away because I know exactly where it goes, you know? So getting those systems put in place is definitely beneficial, but it's still easy to do. So I come in, I mean, completely judge-free, like seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about me.
And I can attest to that because, like, literally that was probably one of the worst moments in my life before you came. So, like, that was, like, the ugliest cry I've ever cried. That was, like, the worst moment ever. And you literally, like, you know, you saved my life, you know. I know that's a hard concept for people to understand sometimes, but, like, you know, when you're that low and you need that pick-me-up, having somebody like you just grab your hand and...
Oh, God. We said this was going to be funny, okay?
Let's talk about Halloween.
Please, because you got me over here just like...
But seriously, like, just pick people up.
Yeah.
Don't push them down.
Yeah.
You had that opportunity and you didn't do that.
No, I would never do that.
But Halloween is great, guys. I hear that you're afraid of somebody. Who are you afraid of?
Oh, God. You would bring it up. Or I should say, gosh. Yeah, so I just have, like, this really huge, like, Michael Myers. I hate him.
So do you get, like, freaked out with the masks, like, and during Halloween?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like, even the other day, I'm standing in line at the Bellevue Berry Farm, and I couldn't believe it. Like, out of all of these people here, and nobody, like, you know, when you come as, like, a guest, nobody dresses up, right? But, like, the one stinking person behind me is wearing a mask. And all I could think about was, like, don't freak out. Because if you freak out, I feel like people who wear masks to the pumpkin patch, I feel like are a special kind of person. Like, they're looking for people to be scared. Like, they love it. So, like, if I show any emotion at all, they're going to come for me. So I'm like, don't freak out. Don't freak out. It's fine. But I have been chased by Michael Myers before at a pumpkin patch. My daughter's dad's aunt thought it would be hilarious to tell him to come for me. And when I tell you I threw hot chocolate all down my shirt and everywhere of my surroundings, it happened.
So I also have an irrational fear of masks.
Okay.
So I used to run. I know I don't look like it, guys. I'm working on it. But I used to run a lot, like miles, like 10Ks, right? And this was like, I think I would have been like 18. There was like this zombie walk, you know, like you dress up for Halloween or whatever. Well, like my friend and I, we like freaking ran it. We were dressed up as Bonnie and Clyde, and
that's cute.
Yes, we had like really cool zombie makeup. I do special effects makeup. It was a hobby at one point.
Okay.
As well as beatboxing. You know, we gotta
beatboxing.
We gotta be diverse.
If I knew that before this, we would have like inputted that in here.
Oh, you know,
you got a talent in beat.
Okay, I wouldn't say I'm talented at it. I can do it.
Okay, so you try.
You try really hard.
Cute.
Yeah, like.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, the more you know. Reading Rainbow.
Oh my god.
But yeah. But anyway, so I ran, and anyway, there are these people that like, I don't know what. Like, if I know who's under the mask, it's fine.
Okay.
But like, literally, they were just like walking behind us like really slowly and just like going like this, and oh my god, it just the most terrifying thing ever. Like, one of them was in like a bunny, like had like they were like in overalls and like a bunny like freaking hat on, like their face. And then the other one was in like one of those bag. You know what I'm talking about? Like the bag ones that just look like I don't know what movie it was because I don't really watch horror movies. I like to be
I don't
happy.
either.
I like to be happy, not scared.
Yeah.
Like all the time. So
Agreed.
And it like looks like what is that stuff? Not a brown paper bag, but like burlap. The burlap sack guy. Burlap.
I have no
burlap
idea.
sack head. Anyway, they just like following us slowly, and it
Weird.
was terrifying. And like we were like, probably like 5K, 10K in, and like we were running the whole freaking thing. So like we're freaking exhausted. I can't sprint because like, hey, you gotta pace yourself. Like anybody who's a distance runner, like you gotta, you can't just. But yeah, I ended up sprinting literally to the gas station, and I'm like, I'm done.
Really?
I'm done.
It freaked you out that bad?
Yes, because they wouldn't show themselves. Like they wouldn't take off the mask.
That's interesting.
And it was in my little small town, that I lived in.
Well, so that's like a huge fear of mine, and why like I'm so cautious about like haunted houses that I go into, because I am the one that thinks like that someone just wants to get famous, right? Like make a story. Why not apply to be this scary guy in a Halloween haunted house and go on a murder streak? Am I wrong?
I like to live in the reality where that did not exist, and now that exists.
I'm almost positive, though, it's happened
and
before.
that now exists in my brain, and it
I'm
exists
telling you,
in this
so,
reality.
Like, I
oh my god!
refuse to go into a haunted house. Someone comment, please, and tell me if that really happened, because I think it did.
Yeah, now that exists in my brain, there's now a little piece of anxiety that will always be
I'm telling you. Well, welcome to my life.
I don't go into haunted houses though. Like literally, I would rather do anything but that. It just doesn't sound like fun to me. Like it sounds.
They are fun.
It sounds like I would wet myself.
But I would never go to that
myself
one.
Up would not be a fun time.
Where like you have to pay $50 to get in, and if you make it out, they will give you your money back. I'm like, okay, absolutely freaking not. Like clearly, many people probably don't make it out, and so it's got to be that scary. But like. The one, Bellevue Berry Farm.
Yeah.
That haunted house is so good, but it's like...
Is it like jump scare scary?
I mean, it's scary. Like, they put on a good haunted house, but like, it's so cool. And even that one that's at Camp Fear. Blood Rush, I think it's called. That one's really good too.
Yeah.
You should go.
Sounds like everybody else should go. Miranda will stay at home and watch her chick flicks. And by chick flicks, probably like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia or The Office, because I don't ever actually get to watch a movie. Or, because I'm at home with my kids, it'll probably be Bluey or Encanto. Who knows? I don't have control over my TV anymore. I have 2 toddlers.
Right.
So, if you decide to have children, know that that's a thing. Like, I have not watched a full episode of anything that I enjoy
Girl,
in probably
I kick my
years.
kids out. Like, I have watched your stuff all day. It's my turn.
I get to when they fall asleep, but like, my daughter didn't fall asleep till 6 a.m. this morning. So
Weird. Why?
I don't know. I think it was the moon or something.
Weird.
Yeah, just
Interesting.
she wasn't sleeping, and I literally slept kind of all day on Saturday. I like relaxed all day, which never happens, and she like hung out with me, and then like we kind of napped together. So it probably is my fault. It probably isn't the moon. I just hope it's not a consistent thing.
Yeah.
I told
stinking way.
I told my mom to make sure she runs off all of her energy while we're up here.
Yeah.
And I'm at work.
Yeah.
If you hear the kids in the background, that is my daughter and my son having a good time downstairs with grandma. I'm very thankful for my mom that she's there for that, and that she's a good grandma, and that she takes really good care of my children while I focus on a career, because you know this, like being a career woman, I pretty much talk about it every episode. It's hard. It's hard finding that balance, and you get judgment from every angle. Like you're either not working hard enough, or you're not with your kids enough, or it's all of those things around you, all those voices that, you know.
I don't listen to them.
I try not to.
I'm so good at just being like, well, I can't say I've always been this way, okay? I want to say in like the last year, I have really, I've done a lot of growing. So like, I've cut friends off. I've only allowed people in my space that like I feel like, you know, have essentially earned to be in my space, you know, like I've cut a lot of boundaries, but that's because I've been also screwed over a lot, right? So when it comes to how I live my life anymore, I feel like I don't give a flying crap what anyone thinks anymore. Like I just don't. Like you either like me or you don't like me. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with that because not everybody's my cup of tea, right? So
yeah, I always joke.
It is what it is.
I always joke that like I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of coffee.
Facts.
And
you're my cup of coffee.
Yeah. I'm glad I energized you that much. But that is like one of my sayings, because I really don't care what people think, but the people closest to me sometimes will say, you know, stuff, or like you just feel that mom guilt.
No, and I mean, so like even this morning, my son was like, Mom, where are you going? Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to work. He said, please don't go to work. You know, I mean, yeah, that mom guilt is real, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so anyways, but so I feel like at the end of the day, like, I mean, I'm always honest. I'm that mom that's just like always open and honest with my kids. And I just like tell them, you know, like,
this is the thing.
You know, this is for you. Like, of course I'm doing it for me, but I'm mostly doing it for you, you know? So,
yeah. And you're a great mom. You're an incredible mom.
I try. Thank you.
You can just see it. And the way that you talk about your kids, like you
Yeah.
can see it. Even though you said that you pick favorites, like you can definitely.
I don't. I pick favorites of the day, right? So like one day my daughter's like the best, and my son's like, oh shit, and then it's like the other way around the next day, you know.
It all evens out. It's all an
it all evens out. Yeah, totally. But I mean, I love my kids both equally.
Yeah. I love both my kids.
And that's why I think I'll never have another, though, because like I have one boy, one girl. I can't ever. They always will know like that not one's loved more than the other, because
you're my favorite female child. You're my favorite.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can always say like, oh, you're like the best boy in the whole entire world, you know. And then I don't have another boy, so they can't get mad. You know,
I have one boy and one girl as well, and that's kind of how I feel. Like, you know, maybe if, you know, fate happens and there's like somebody who comes into my life, but that may not happen. So.
Oh, girl, I don't care who I meet in my next life. If I ever do, if whatever happens, I will never have another kid.
Yeah.
I am done.
You're done.
I am done. Does that sound bad?
No, I toss it back and forth like all the time. Like if this were to happen, would I? Because I have two beautiful, perfect children.
Yeah.
And like there's also like other complications. Like, you know, we don't have to get like super personal, but again, I firmly believe that TMI is not a thing.
Oh gosh.
But like there will probably be some complications if I do have another kid, you know, and like the risks of losing a baby. Like I've had several miscarriages in the past, and it's not a good time. Like
no,
that anxiety is not a good time. And I like travel back and forth because, like, you know, if I didn't try, I wouldn't have my two beautiful children that I have now. And you know, if I absolutely care about somebody and like we decide to make that decision, then we decide to make that decision. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm still like kind of indifferent about it and still going through that. Like I'm not indifferent enough about it to make a choice
Right.
that's going to be like permanent. But
I'm permanent.
You're permanent.
I'm permanent.
But I'm also like, you know, that is going to be a serious conversation if I ever want to do that, or like if I want to freeze eggs, or, you know, being single. It's like a way different ball game.
Yeah.
Just in general, like you ask yourself interesting questions.
Sure.
Like do this, and like right now I'm a big contender in just living in the present, and the things that are most important to me right now are my kids, my career, and my self-development. Like,
yes, self-development. Oh my gosh, I've just like seriously learned so much about myself even just this last year. And it's just been like beautiful.
And it's great. Like, you know, you have to be...
It's like a feeling, man.
Yeah, you have to be your champion for it. Like, you have to be the person that says, I'm going to take the time to make myself better. Like, I'm going to put in the effort. And, you know, this may be a controversial opinion, but I really do think, like, you have to put yourself first. Then, you know, if you have a spouse or significant other, that spouse or significant other, and then your kids. And I know that sounds like backwards, but here's my train of thought. These two people can't take care of these people below if they're not well. If they're not, if their head's not on right, or if they can't think straight, or they're not okay with themselves, how can you help these? Like, obviously, you, like, if you have a baby, you have to keep your baby alive. Like, that's not what I mean. I don't mean neglect your kids. But I mean, like, your mental space and things like that, you have to take time for that. You have to take time for that self-care.
Yeah.
You have to take time to really be honest with yourself and learn who you are, because you can forget that so easily. Even as like a new mom,
I've done it.
You can forget who you are, and your kids need to see that. You know, that's like any advice that I give to like a new mom is legitimately like, remember you're a person too. Like, remember you're not just a mom. You're not just this. Like, it's okay if you want to go get your nails done.
Yeah.
It's okay if you like need to lock yourself in the pantry for 5 minutes and eat a freaking Oreo cookie. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't feel guilty about it, and you know it's okay if you know you have these anxieties about
this mic is like, I'm sorry, like tripping me out.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I'm smacking it a lot.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're fine. No, they would tell us. They'd be like, "Oh, that was loud." People online are savage. But like that kind of stuff is like super important to remember, and it's important to remember just who you are and consistently work on yourself. Because you know, people joke about this like villain era stuff. You know, like when you're...
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's like all over TikTok, but maybe I'm just on a weird side of TikTok. But what it means is like if you like grew up, you know, where you were always like the people pleaser, the person that had to do like everything for everybody else, you're now entering your villain era, or like the era where you're caring about yourself. Like, it's not a negative thing, and it shouldn't be. Self-care should not be conceived as a negative concept.
Right. Yeah.
It should be like, hey, like, important, and it all leads back to what you do. Like, that moment that you came into my house, that was me accepting self-care. That was me accepting help for something that I absolutely needed. And as humans, we don't like to ask for help. How many houses have you gone into and the owner was just like, struggling with even asking for you to do
all
that?
the time. I've had people like literally like tell me like they're not ready, and it's because like they think that they'll get to it and whatnot, and then they'll message me and they'll be like, okay, like I like completely fooled myself, like I need help. And it's just all because we don't like to ask for help. Yeah,
we don't, or like we're embarrassed, and I'm the first person to be like, yo, I'm struggling. Do I announce it out loud? Not like on a public forum or anything like that. Maybe sometimes, but like it's super important to utilize those support systems.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I think, I don't know, I grew up where like asking for help like wasn't really okay. But now that I'm older, I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And for anybody watching this today, I really hope you get inspired if you need Bee's assistance and reach out to her. Like, when I tell you she changed my life, like, it legitimately, like, having an organized home and having like your mind be able to be clear of all that clutter is a real thing. And she is a genuine person. She's not a scary, like, fancy dancy
Boogie woogie monster.
Don't want to talk to anybody or like give you the time of day. And Sylvia said, I'm not trying to rush you guys, but let me know when this is over because I want to schedule you ASAP. But
I would love that.
But for anybody watching, truly, just like that, like it's that easy. Just reach out to her and just say, hey, I need help, or do you do this? Like, even if you're unsure that she does what she does, or like what it looks like, or you have questions, like just reach out.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, the goal is this, right? Like, obviously the functional system and what have you, right? But my goal is to always, throughout my process, like explain to my clients like the importance, and also just like kind of like picking my brain almost. I don't know. Okay, wait, let me just start that all over. Okay.
Good. We're live.
Oh, okay. I want to be able to like teach my clients what I do, so that the goal is for you to never call me again, okay? And not because I don't want to talk to you or be your friend. We can always be friends. But my goal is that you're not spending your money on me again, right? Like, I want to show you what I do so that way you can input this into other areas of your home and build off of that, essentially. Like, trust me, I'm not opposed, though, of coming up and refreshing, right? Like, I would love that. I would love to see you. I would love to come back and, like, do another job. I would love to get my hands dirty in what I do. But I also want what's best for my clients. Like, I don't want to come in and just do its job and, okay, call me when you need me again, right? Like, the goal is to, like, just do right by you, right by my clients. So
yeah. So if anybody has any more questions, we're gonna wrap up here. Please put them down in the comments. If you don't, that's okay. But I really appreciate you literally coming today. I know how busy your schedule is. I know how hard you work, and I know that, you know, having an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours is not.
Girl, when you asked me, I was like, say less. Like, get to talk to Maranda again? Yeah, I'm down. When you were like the other day, you said, are you still coming on my talk show? I'm like, girl, we're like 3 days away. Like, I'm there. Like,
and I don't know if I have anybody booked for next week, so I can't even give you guys a sneak peek of who's coming on next week. I know I have a bunch of people in like my DMs that want to do it, but I know I have the 13th booked, but I can't remember who I have for the 4th. I probably should have looked that up. I probably should have been a lot more prepared than I was today.
Well, it's Halloween tomorrow. We all got a lot of stuff going on. So.
And I'm going to eat lots of candy. Just kidding. Like, I'm down 30 pounds, so.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. So I'm probably not going to.
That ain't me, though. I'm about to literally eat all the candy.
Well, okay, I've heard that Reese's peanut butter cups aren't that bad, you know.
Have you never had a Reese's?
No, I have. Well, no, I mean, like, not that bad for you. Of course I've had a Reese's.
Oh, my God. Girl, you were about to blow my stinking mind, okay?
Dude,
okay.
I'm 27. If I haven't had a Reese's, I would have been living under
I would have been like, okay,
rock. So
you need more therapy then, because...
Probably did, but no, actually, so this real quick, and then I'll end the live, because this is important. It's really not, but if you guys want to go, you can go. But Reese's, like when they have the eggs, or like the like pumpkin-shaped ones, or the ones that are a weird shape, right? So much better than the regular ones.
I don't think so. I disagree.
Oh.
I like a little, like, snap, like crunch, versus like I feel like the eggs and the pumpkin ones are like mush.
Well, they're like more peanut butter. Like, it's the better ratio, but that's okay. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That's what friendship is.
Yeah.
But If there are no more questions, it doesn't look like there is. I
Okay.
appreciate everybody coming on. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, of course.
We'll be here next week to talk about life, love, and real estate. I know we didn't talk about very much real estate today, but I think that's okay. I think everybody got what they needed today.
Yeah.
I think
It was fun. Yeah.
I think so too. We did talk about pantries. That's part of real estate. So,
Yeah,
but I love you all, and I love you. And
Love you.
we'll see you guys later. I'm gonna come close to the screen. You guys get to see my cool costume.